This is Vonones ornata. This particular specimen and the others in this culture hails from Florida. Right back there at the tip of the abdomen, there are two small spikes. We'll see if we can get a better angle on them so that you can see them. Not quite the same as the bunny harvestman, which has the bunny ears a little further up. In today's video, we're going to document some of the harvestmen, opiliones, that are present in the pet bug hobby here in the United States. See a very small mite, or yep, it's a mite. I thought maybe it was a springtail. A little bit of color variation here from specimen to specimen. One of the interesting things about these, and we'll demonstrate this in a moment, is that those yellow markings on these Vonones, they fluoresce under blacklight. Let's check that out now. Now I've turned off most of the light here in the room, and take a look here at how these fluoresce under UV light. Our next featured species here is Vonones sayi. These ones aren't quite as dark as the Florida species that we looked at, and of course these are an entirely different species in the same genus. You can see they're very delicate, sensitive, sensory appendages. The little tips there, they'll use those much like vinegaroons do, carefully, and on account of their poor vision, moving out, venturing out into the world, tapping along, using their sense of touch to explore where they're going. And as they pursue their meals, we feed them with fish food pellets and carrots. Fruit flies, we often have springtails and dwarf white isopods in our cultures with these various harvestman species. Zoom in here a little more, see if we can get a closer look at their pedipalps, mouth parts, and maybe even their little tiny eyes. See the two black dots there on either side of that Y? Those are the eyes. Simple eyes at most detect light and dark, I think. Slightly darker specimen there on the left, but not quite as dark as the other species we looked at first, which was Vonones ornata, the ornate harvestman. This one here is Say's harvestman, named after the famous Thomas Say. So many species named after him here. A quick word about the containers these are in. These are merely temporary containers before I move them on to people just like you watching. Yet another species. Like the last, these are Vonones sayi, but this is a patternless species. They don't have any of the markings on the back that the others do. The lines that you see there are merely segmentation. I love the way these guys move. All of these harvestmen with their crinkly little legs. Such gentle animals, and all of them entirely non-venomous, related to the famous daddy longlegs, garden harvestmen that we see in our yards. See that one there is got a partial back leg, but of course with the other 7, gets around just fine. Could just look at them for hours and hours. You have to love colony arachnids like this. No worries of cannibalism or predation upon one another. And some may find it disturbing, even though these are entirely harmless. All those legs moving around. But I just think it's great. On to the next species. Last week, when I made the video about the sunburst diving beetles, and we were out on that hike, we found some of these harvestmen. There's a very small one down there. I'll show you an example of a considerably larger specimen here. Good-sized pedipalps on that one right there. Still not a huge harvestman, but pretty good-sized. Just wanted you to be able to see how it moves. Not sure yet what species this is. I haven't looked it up, but it was neat to find it at the same time that I had all of these other harvestmen, a fairly local species, and really interesting morphology. Let's see if we can get this one to accept a fruit fly here on camera. All right, I've got a fruit fly here at the end of these tweezers. See if we can entice our little harvestman friend to take it from us. Showing some interest in it. Going to see if I can release the fruit fly here. A little hard. There we go. Proper feeding response. Looks like the fruit fly kind of got tucked under a small piece of bark there momentarily, but this actually looks a lot like a coconut crab as I watch this. Are you guys familiar with that? Perhaps largest of all arthropods. Let's see if we can pull this back out here again. Well, on my first attempt, I had dropped another fruit fly in there and lost it. And it seems that the harvestman has on its own recovered it. Let's see if we can get it to accept a second fruit fly here. There you go, buddy. Dropped it there. This one is sort of the Popeye of opiliones or harvestmen. It's really working on that other one. And lastly, these Dalquestia from Texas. If that's not one of the most gorgeous arthropods you've ever seen in your entire life, I don't know what is. So that's our tour of Harvestmen. Hope you've enjoyed seeing the diversity that the United States has to offer. Just can't stop watching them. What do we have here? Oh, that's one of the desert opiliones that I've always wanted.
Yeah, that is.
Oh my gosh.
That is a find.
Oh wow.
That is a find. Oh, look at this pretty.
This was on my bucket list. My number one thing that I wanted to find.
Oh my gosh.
Will you grab that? It's coming way too far up here. I can't film it. When I came down here a year ago, this is what I wanted to see. There's a lot of variation.
Amazing.
You see those white joints on
Yeah.
their legs? There's a lot of variation. Sometimes they are completely black with those white joints.
Oh, that is so cool.
I can't remember what the genus is. It's something Bunus, I think. Eurybunus.